Peace, love, and light, everyone. Welcome to the Nurture Journey AromaStories. My name is Mizana, for those of you who don't know, and today joining us will be Jasmine. Jasmine is the owner of her brand of products. It's called AromaStories. And I just so happen to have a podcast with that name talking about aromas, talking about how aromas bypass the limbic system, gets into the body, more emotional, somatic kind of information that is relayed, and how we then respond to life or respond to situations through that exchange, right? And then I met Jasmine, and Jasmine came in and added even more information, and just her presence alone gave us the nurture journey even more substance. And so today on the nurture journey, we're talking about frankincense. Frankincense is a powerful aroma that it's used in a lot of spiritual places, a lot of sanctuaries. It's used for cleansing, it's used for releasing, it's used releasing tension, that is. It's also used for the nervous system, which is where I come in because of my business, the womb, in my mother's womb, and I also use frankincense there to also clean. I use frankincense along with other fragrances, but I tend to use more grounding incense because of the response that my clients receive from it. So today we're talking about frankincense, and frankincense, the resin that teaches us how to listen. So that's what we will be focusing on today. Jasmine will be joining us in a few, but in the meantime, let's take a nice deep breath. And I want you to give yourself permission to sit today to receive information that you need to receive that will take you on your journey, and information that would allow you to transcend, right? So let's take a nice deep breath into the belly, which means the belly expands and the shoulders remain soft. Allow your exhales to be longer than your inhale. Again. Beautiful. One last time. Very good. So frankincense is not a scent that demands attention. It clears space so that attention can arrive on its own. Unlike many aromas that move through emotion first, frankincense moves through stillness. It is the resin of pause. Frankincense comes from a tree that survives in harsh, dry landscapes, rocky soil, little water, extreme conditions, and yet it's gently cut. The tree does not bleed chaos, right? It releases a resin, a substance that hardens, that protects and heals. This is the first teaching of frankincense. Wounding does not have to mean collapse. Sometimes it becomes clarity. So that is the first teaching of frankincense. So I'll repeat that again so that you can get it and you can allow it to permeate into the mind, into the body, and feel the language of the words that's coming to you. Feel it within every cell of your being. I'll repeat it one more time. Wounding does not have to mean collapse. Sometimes it becomes clarity. Frankincense is one of the few aromas that consistently signals the nervous system to shift out of urgency, not sedation, not escape, but widening. It helps the breath slow naturally, the forehead soften, the jaw unclenched, and the mind steps back just enough for awareness to come forward. This is why frankincense has been used in temples, in mosques, in churches, in sacred spaces across cultures, not because it is religious, but because it creates internal silence. And silence is where intuition speaks. So oftentimes in meditation, you'll hear me say, quieten the body, right? And the reason for that is it allows you to come into your now, and you can now pay attention to the awareness. Once you're paying attention to the awareness, you will get the information from the intuition, right? So everything works together when you are in alignment. So things like aromas and teas and different crystals and humming and somatic experiences, what it does, it allows alignment to happen so that you can get clear information on which direction you need to go, how you need to manage your life. So frankincense it has a unique relationship with the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that is responsible for perspective, meaning, and conscious choice. This is why frankincense is often described as clarifying, expansive, prayerful, and orienting. But what it is really doing, it is helping the mind to release its grip on control. It's helping the mind to release its grip on control. Frankincense doesn't tell you what to think. It creates enough space for you to hear what you already know. So let me clarify that a little bit. So I say, so that you may hear what you already know. That is because in your authenticity, there is a knowing. You know all of this that I'm saying already. You know how to take care of your being. You know how to give self-love. You know how to do all those things. We have been conditioned out of it. So we feel as though these things are new to us. Well, frankincense doesn't tell us what to think. It creates space. So when I say to you, take the side breath and allow the breath to push against the side walls of your body to create space, frankincense is doing the same thing through aroma. So it creates enough space for you to hear what you already know. So when I say to you, when you come into these sessions and to make an intention, right? When you make an intention and you have frankincense going, what it does is creating the space to open up and to tap into your knowing. It will come forward, and so that you can make the decision. Remember, at any time throughout our day, we're given choices. We're offered choices. Grievance or miracle. And so frankincense allows you to tap into the knowing so that you will understand what it is that you're choosing. It's a simple process. We complicate it. So frankincense teaches us how to present without effort, how to be present without effort, how to hold reverence without being rigid, how to listen without searching, meaning you're listening to someone and you're listening to the information that they're giving you at the time. You're not searching for a response. All you need to do is to be present, right? So it does not stimulate imagination, it stabilizes awareness. This is why frankincense is powerful during grief, spiritual questioning, life transitions, moments of uncertainty, deeper prayer or meditation. So we talked about sandalwood before, and we said yes, that it's very grounding in meditation and helps you to focus and what have you. So you can imagine if you burn some sandalwood and you burn some frankincense together, what a beautiful meditation or meditative experience you will have, right? So these are little things that you keep in mind. You don't have to complicate it. You're just doing the things that your knowing knows to do. So frankincense will allow you to open up that space so that you can receive information from your knowing, and you will do what is necessary for you to do in that moment. Deeper wisdom of frankincense is that frankincense reminds us that clarity does not come from force. Wisdom does not shout. Healing often happens quietly. So it moves in the middle space, the space where the nervous system feels safe enough to stop scanning and start listening. The space where the nervous system feels that it can rest, to listen, to see what's going on within the body. If you are listening right now, ask yourself gently, what becomes clearer when I slow my breath? So you can write this in your journal as well. What do I hear when the noise settles? What truth is already here waiting for space? So frankincense doesn't bring revelation. It reveals what was already present, right? It's in your knowing. It's already present. So it reveals this to you. So frankincense teaches us that stillness is not empty. It is full of information. So keep that in mind, and let's right now relax our mind, body. Take a few moments to breathe deep into our belly, releasing anything that may be here to stop us from receiving information. And we're going to listen now to Jasmine in the podcast of AromaStories. So join me there. Next, Ashe.
How are you?
Oh, it's so good to see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Likewise. It's been nice to be in the new year, awaiting the new year. You know, like from the west to the east. You know, I'm like in this like, okay, New Year's here. Get it together.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, with
Yeah.
that kind of curiosity, like, okay, what's coming kind of a thing,
Yeah.
which is beautiful, right? Because
Yeah.
it's all about the uncertainty, and just doing things that's different, having the awareness that this year I want to do things differently. I want to choose the miracle instead of the
Mm.
grievance,
Mm.
right?
Yeah. I want to let go. I want to let go of things that I've been holding on to that no longer align with me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm feeling a different frequency, and I need for my external to reflect that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going through like wardrobe, going through my closet, perfumes, like, just things that were holding on to me and I was holding on to them.
Yes.
And it's like we can let each other go. And it's a really good feeling.
It is. It is, and especially when you're like letting go and you're letting go and you're saying if you're not throwing it out, because if you're throwing it out, I always say just separate your energy from that, right?
Mm.
But if you're giving it away, you thank the garment or whatever it is for the times that it has given you, the moments, the memories, all of that, and
Yes.
for being in your life, and then letting it know that it's time to surrender it so that it can make someone else happy,
Yeah, yeah,
and
letting it go happily. Yes.
hmm yeah, very
A
intentional
lot
about it.
a lot of trinkets that I've had all my life. A little Care Bear, a little ceramic Care Bear, a little impossibly petite dolphin statuette jewelry box that my friend had given me years ago. I just don't have the space. I can't take that with me. But what I have done are these little things that bring me joy when I see them. I've put them in my plants, even like outside, like my precious potted plants. I hide them in there. And so whenever I go to water them, I'm reminded
Yes,
really
yes.
this micro world that gets to be there. A piece of me gets to always be with the plant or the tree, or, it's really, it brings me peace to know that that's what I did with it, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. If we can just be a little bit more intentional in our lives, we will
Mm.
see things so differently, right? Um, you with your trinkets and placement of the trinkets, I know that there's some type of thought that went with that, so that you allow it to go where it needs to go, and so now you're watering, and because you gave it that kind of love to find it a home, that
Yeah.
energy is like that. And so the energy from the water and the energy from the trinkets and the energy from the soil, it go into the plants. And it's just a beautiful synergy, it is
Yeah.
wonderful. But we don't think about things like that because our brain won't allow it. It allows us to think of things separately, individual. So we have to
Mhm.
intentionally bring it together, align ourselves,
Mhm.
and then intentionally do our work. That's why aroma is so wonderful, right? Because it
Right.
does that, like unassumingly, just kind of like,
Right. This is a wave spray. I don't know if I sent this to you, but it's one of my favorite products. Like everyone loves it.
what is it called? A wave
Oh wait,
spray?
yeah, it is witch hazel, clove, that's her, mugwort.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the mugwort helps you with your dreams.
I love mugwort.
Yeah, a bit of alcohol. Yeah, it just I think green tea. I think I put green tea in here too.
Mm.
I use it to spray my linen before I get in the bed, to like sanitize it on multiple levels. And then just now I can spray myself because we are ecosystems ourselves. We live in ecosystems, like things that we can't even see. And so clove repels so much, because even if we're exposed to too much clove, we will react. It can burn, it can make you unfeeling, if you will, the numbing properties. And
I know.
so, yeah,
Personally.
right, right. So, yeah, I just use it to just spray around, and it brings peace. And in that peace, you can let go and relax. And
Yes.
yeah.
There's stages in your life where you learn about you,
Mhm.
because this is all about that. It's because once you understand you, then the outside, you with someone else, you on your job, you on your, that's it. because you
Mm.
understand you, right? So any environment that you go into, you're able to make the adjustment because you understand you. You understand that it's not that thing on the outside that's affecting you, that's causing you to whatever. No, it's you, how you're receiving and processing
Mhm.
information, right? No matter
Mhm.
what it is, it comes down to you,
Right,
right?
right. I agree. What we're here to learn, what
Yes.
and how we're going to take that lesson with us into the next time. And even when we see it reflected in someone else, we give them grace by sharing uh, a way to receive that may help cope so that this can be easier for
Yes. Yes.
you.
Because you become the scenery.
Mm.
You become the scenery once you learn about you.
Mm.
Right? And then someone else looking at you, it taps into their stuff. So when someone says, "Oh my gosh, Mizana, you're so patient, you're so this, you're so that," that's you're seeing that
Mm.
because it's in you. Right? Otherwise, if that wasn't in you, you would see it as something else.
Mhm, mhm,
Right? Oh, she thinks she's so whatever. Da 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 da. You wouldn't see the beauty in what it is. Right? So it's in us. We just have to understand that once we get that inner standing, right, then we become the scenery. We have trained the mind to think a certain way, so
mhm,
it sees us as individuals. Conditioning tells us that if that person appears to have more than us because we're defining that, then that is this. We
yeah,
react.
it's set up. It's set up that way for us to compete, and it's just
Yes.
one other than ourselves is benefiting from that, and being comfortable is really important. Everyone is giving their best when they are themselves,
Yes.
are authentically living their best life, or when they are, when you feel good and you want everyone around you to feel good. And now we can truly generate solutions. We can truly just bring to the table what we are supposed to, which is ourselves. And when we're uncomfortable, when we're out of line, when we're anxious, we're not bringing that. And it's a disservice to everyone that not everyone can contribute.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. So it,
Mhm.
it becomes important for us to understand the role that we are playing and the role we are not.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right?
Yes, yes. And knowing oneself allows you to align. And last night I was making a product. A friend of mine was over, and I noticed that I had color issues and smell issues, inconsistency. And so my quality control alarm was going off. And now that I'm selling on a larger scale, it's one thing to sell at a farmer's market. Something's not right, your customers will come back to you. They're not going to leave a bad review. They say, Jasmine, something's not wrong. But now I'm selling rather, something's not right, but I'm selling on Amazon. Like if I make a mistake, the implications can be really, like wide stretching, right? And
Yes.
I was so happy with myself that I stopped. I took the time to say, wait a minute, something's wrong. Let's unlid all these butters. And one of my ingredients was simply of poor quality. And that was reflecting in the finished product. And if I hadn't listened to the way I was feeling on the inside, I would have continued. I would have continued. But no, no, I said, Jasmine, you're not happy right now. You're not happy. Why aren't you happy? Why aren't you? This is happy time.
Yes.
And then also create more quality control patterns. like down to my suppliers, no assumptions. We don't accept things that come sealed in bottles without first saying, is this right? Is this what it says it is? Even if it seems to be what it says it is, how much of it is what it's supposed to be?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. How much of that product was the last was is the same as it was last time. you know,
Yeah.
because that becomes so important. The being off just a little bit means something in the end result.
And I
So,
have room for error. We all have to have room for error and grace with ourselves. But if you step outside of that 5%, you know,
yes.
yeah.
So funny that we're talking about this now in Aroma Stories, because today I said the fragrance would be frankincense, right?
Mm.
And frankincense does that. And frankincense is all about that quietening, right?
Mm.
That silencing, so that the knowing shows up, what
Mm.
you know. And that's what you're speaking to, because you said, something inside of you, all these alarms were going off, and you tapped into it, and you said, and it was that thing. Now, inside of us, there's this knowing that is in our authenticity, but we've been conditioned outside of that,
Mm.
right? So sometimes when the knowing, we tap into our knowing and it's present, we still doubt it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's speaking loud. So something like that may have happened, let's say a month ago, and you would have said something like, oh, and this is just an example, not that you would do this, I'm just giving an example. And let's say you say something like, this one is off, but I'll continue packaging. I can smell something a little off, but is it me? It may just be me. I'm not maybe feeling well, or, my
Mm.
allergies are a little acting up a little bit today, or what have you. I'm a little sensitive. I'm more open. That's why it's not smelling that way. But the awareness is saying, no, no, something needs to change. Something has happened. And you
Mm-hmm.
tapped into that. Our conditioning has taken us away from that. And frankincense allows us to tap into that stillness where the knowing becomes activated. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why it's so many, and you'll see it in so many
Ceremony.
sanctuaries. It allows you to bring the awareness forward. The awareness, you're able to see it, you're able to tap into it. And it's that awareness that allows you to step into your knowing. Frankincense allows the stillness so that you can listen.
Hmm. Interesting.
Frankincense does the same thing. It
Yeah.
grows in that kind of environment where you would say or think nothing will grow here,
Hmm. Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
In that place that's abandoned, and in that stillness,
Hmm.
it grows.
Yeah. They have powdered frankincense for facial preparations. It's lovely on the face. It's like a tonic. But they sell powdered frankincense to line the gut to
Mm-hmm.
help with people who are having irritable bowel syndromes and what. It's really interesting all the things that people use it for.
Frankincense is an excellent wellness resin,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
and once again you understand its language,
Mm-hmm.
then you can use it for medicine.
Yes. Yeah, even simply, I think because it's used for the ceremony and in the church, and people have this regard for it, and they may not know why, and even if it gives them the nostalgia of church and Sundays or wherever that sacred space is for them, yeah,
Hmm.
definitely healing, just in memory alone, in the
Yes.
associations, yeah, that it brings. Yeah,
Yes.
it's good stuff.
Yes, it is. Wonderful. It's wonderful. It's excellent for your skin.
Yes, yes. Uh-huh. Yes, very peaceful. Grounds you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we've become peaceful just talking about it. You see, we have ground.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I also encourage frankincense. I encourage frankincense essential oil. And I think, you know what? I think I encourage essential oil because I think that it's easier for individuals to experience the aroma or the medicine that it has in aromatherapy, right? So, but it asks that you are very patient with it. Like you can't just like throw 10 drops in a bottle of in a bathtub and think that, oh, it's just, essential oil. What can possibly happen?
Right.
Because I have used essential oil that has caused me to pass out.
Wow.
Yeah.
I understand that because geranium oil, right? Beautiful, simple geranium oil. When you put it on your skin, it
Hmm.
causes your muscles to contract. I mean, what? So yes,
Yes.
happening. Which is why I don't recommend essential oils to people. I'll tell them to go, get some cinnamon sticks, get some cloves, some actual
Hmm.
cloves. I'll put it on a pot, put it in a pot, water, boil it on the stove, put some orange pills in there, some lemon, grate some lemon, like just
Hmm.
start there.
This, you have to learn the language. You have to know what it's saying. I may be able to use 3 drops of an essential oil, and you won't be able to use it. You may
Yeah,
never be able to use 3 drops,
yeah,
right?
right.
And so therefore you start very, very small. You start with certain things like maybe placing it in your environment. Like a lot of people will say, test the oil on your skin. I never say that.
Yeah,
I
right.
never say that. So I'll say, test it in your environment. You put it on a piece of, on a cotton or something, and you put it in somewhere that you're gonna pass and you're
Yes,
gonna smell it.
yes.
Things like that. I would
Mhm.
say, but you have to learn the language. The energy of it is just, it is powerful. It's strong. But it's medicine. And if you know how to use it, you can use it in so many different ways. But we don't do that. We experience and we hold on and we judge and we label,
Mhm.
right? And we
Mhm.
hold on to the experience, so we never get through it. We never get past it. So by doing that, we're tainted, right?
Mhm.
So the experience that's coming our way, we never get the full experience of that because we have a narrative from the last experience that's
Mhm.
writing this experience
Mhm.
that we're in
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Yeah, that's definitely I think I've certainly found myself there, remembering pains from maybe not so long ago and coloring this new chapter with it as a distance, not wanting to return to that space, thinking that it will protect me from the harm, but really I'm just locking in the pattern, and now this time I'm gonna create it, you know, and it can be a challenge to not let the the past well up inside us and create something that we need to let go of, so that we
Yes.
can appreciate the now. Yeah, because it
Yes.
can be very, the gratitude that we have to have for every day because things change so quickly. And so to be able to ground yourself in the present and really enjoy it to the max, is really important. It's really important.
Yes. So the quickness of the change is where I'm placing my gratitude as well,
Mm,
right? Because I am present in my now to
mm,
experience the quickness of the change,
mm,
right?
mm,
I'm grateful for that.
mm,
We have the choice, right? Grievance or miracle. We always have that choice.
mm,
A lot of people will sit in the grievance. They'll say, it's happening too quickly. Oh, this is, it's moving so fast. I don't have time to think. Why does this change happen? I don't like change. I'm not good with change. They're choosing the grievance.
mm, mm. Or sometimes Mars has come along and has activated some part. Mars moves fast.
Mhm.
When I'm, like I said, compelled energetically, seemingly out of my control, I have changed my mind about something or made up my mind about something. I go and look at my chart and I look at the transits. And here Mars has, at that moment, has clicked, like maybe on my Neptune, or maybe Mars, or maybe Mars on my sun, you know, and a bit of aggression. Some people carry that Mars with them activated at all times, and they tend to have it'll express itself in different ways. Maybe they are angry or high strung, or maybe they are aggressive, or maybe they have a lot of drive to do things that are challenging. Maybe they will take that Martian energy and channel it into achieving incredible things. So, yeah, the way that we choose, or the way that we can express it, when that anger shows up, you know, you can choose, you can channel it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's there.
Yes.
There are options. Yeah.
Grievance or miracle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Grievance or miracle. I have chosen the miracle. I have chosen the miracle. So even in the midst of grievance, I tend to look for because the miracle is always there, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's always there. It's just that we're focused on the grievance.
Mm-hmm. And this will pass. This will pass. Yeah, and it's okay to say, I'm grieving. I can feel it, but
Mhm.
this will pass. Yes.
Correct. Correct. And that's the miracle,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? That's the miracle. Oh, I don't have to sit in this. I don't have to choose suffering on top of that. I don't have to choose self abuse
Mm-hmm.
while in this. I can choose awareness,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Expression. I turn it into beauty, turn it into art. I
Yes,
alchemize the pain.
correct. Because we're alchemists. So
Mm-hmm.
we have choices all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But it is the awareness. We have to be mindful of the awareness that would allow us to see that so that we can understand that in this now, you can make a choice. No, we want to suppress it. We just want to, or we want to just let it go away. We don't want to feel anything. But it's happening for a reason, right? It's happening because we need to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's here. We need to pay attention. It's not asking that you pay attention in fear. It's not. It's asking that you pay attention. If you bring fear, if you bring anything else into it, it corrupts it. It
Mm.
corrupts what it is, what the experience is. You have to be able to use your breath
Mm.
and sit be aware, be mindful, be intentional about
Mm.
these things. But again, we were taught to run, to suppress, to hide, you know, to lie, to not
Mm.
stand in truth, to just not be. We don't know how to do that.
Yeah, yeah, because it's a sacred time of transition. It's for you. It's
It
for your
is.
for your benefit. It's for your growth.
Mm-hmm.
You
It
honor it,
is.
listen to it. Yeah.
Correct. I agree. So, so bring it back to the aroma of frankincense. Frankincense does just that, right? It
Mm.
allows you to sit in stillness. It allows you to listen, to pay attention. It allows you to be. So, in churches and sanctuaries and places that ask you to be silent, to be mindful, to be in stillness, to be in that quiet time, that's why frankincense is all around, because that is the aroma's language.
Mm.
It asks that you do that.
Mhm.
So, again, you know, bring a little frankincense into your life and just gently introduce yourself to it.
Mhm.
Listen to what it has to say. It's a gentle experience. That's why
Mm.
it's in sanctuaries.
Yes, that is why.
That is why.
Mhm.
So here we are at the end of another aroma story session. Beautiful. Stay in peace.